You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, if you are current on episodes, you saw that both EJ and Xander want University Hospital for the same reason, and both make a pitch to the board this week. But our leaker just gave us some hot new info about a twist ahead that changes the fate of the hospital and everyone that works there, plus a twist that I'm excited about. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and let's talk about Xander and EJ DiMera and who gets their hands on the hospital, the Versavix intellectual property, plus bragging rights, according to our trusted leaker. Click subscribe if you're not following. So this week, both EJ and Xander make a pitch to the board at University Hospital. And at first, Kayla flat out rejected EJ's offer to buy the financially troubled University Hospital. And Kayla was initially backing Xander's bid to buy it, but then a couple of things happened. First, Kayla is increasingly certain that Xander's the one who beat Phillip Kiriakis nearly to death. We all know he did. And second, EJ went over Kayla's head and he let the board know that he made a generous offer that she rejected out of hand, when realistically she should have taken EJ's offer to the board. But let's face it, Kayla hates EJ, and with very good reason. Now, though, Xander and EJ both make their pitch to the board this week, and then they're going to take a moment to decide. And we know from confirmed days spoilers for the week that while they are considering the offer, Belle Black keeps grilling people, including Alex Kiriakis, about Xander and Phillip and the assault. And we all know EJ asked Belle to do all that she can to help him get the hospital, and she wants to. But this isn't just Belle trying to help EJ. We know that Belle wants to see justice served. After all, Phillip's been her friend for a long time and was once her lover, and she does care about him. So even though Belle was mad that Phillip lied to her face and had her represent him under false pretenses using the forged letter that Vivian made, that doesn't mean that Belle wants to see Phillip a dead man or pummeled into a coma. So Belle decides this week, okay, we've got enough evidence. And then Jada heads up to the hospital after Xander and EJ make their pitches to the board. And Jada slaps handcuffs on Xander and arrests him for assaulting Phillip and hauls him away. And guess what? Our leaker says that EJ gets ownership of the hospital by default. There's two offers, then they're basically down to one. Because with Xander out of play and looking at a possible felony assault conviction, that taints Titan's offer. So EJ's going to get his hands on it. Not that he's any prize either, but he has sold Belle on his whole changed man song and dance, and she seems to believe EJ. Once Xander's arrested, the main storyline is going to shift for, the next week and a half or so. And our leaker told us that Phillip likely remains unconscious and off screen throughout this time. That's because we've got John Black's deathbed scenes coming and lots of returning characters for that and for his upcoming funeral. Will Horton, Ciara Brady, and Eric Brady are in town. Paul Narita sticks around. I anticipate we're probably going to see Andrew Donovan. Bo's getting better, and he and Hope Brady are due back in town soon, along with Ciara Brady. There's just a lot going on. And because of John's final storyline and Bo's recovery and all the guest stars and the funeral, there's just no room to dive into what's going on with Xander and EJ, with Xander and Phillip, and the fallout from his arrest and what happens when Phillip wakes up. So we'll see. I kind of doubt that Xander's going to be sitting in jail this whole time. He might, but I am sure he's, going to get a good lawyer and get bailed out. Justin Kiriakis might get him out, somebody else. But the important thing to know from the leaked info is that Xander loses his bid to get the hospital. Realistically, he did want to profit off the Versavix, but he also wanted the medication for Bo. And Xander recently found out that Phillip wanted the same thing and had the medication stolen to get a dose to Bo Brady. So aside from the lie about Victor's letter, Xander kind of beat Phillip brutally under false pretenses. So EJ is going to bankroll Salem University Hospital, and it's not even part of DiMera since Titan took over the family company. So it looks like it'll be EJ personally being the investor / owner of the hospital, however they do the terminology. And that should royally frustrate Marlena and Kayla, who intently dislike him. And Sarah, another doctor, is no fan of his either. I just wonder if that means we're going to get the infamous Dr. Wilhelm Rolf triumphantly returning to head up the lab of the hospital. That could be lots of fun. Rolf's always a hoot. Meanwhile, Xander's perfect little Days of Our Lives life with Sarah Horton is over, at least for now. She kicked him out of the mansion and could push for supervised visitation with Victoria if he doesn't play his cards right, because Sarah is certain he beat Phillip, as is Maggie, who has turned her back on Xander as well. And Maggie's also super mad that Xander stole Victor's portrait. But if you remember where it came from, I don't consider this a huge loss other than it's just a portrait of Victor. Creepy Constantine Milionis was the one who brought that portrait into the house. So I feel like it was tainted from the start. But it was definitely a visceral thing this week to watch Xander pull out a knife and stab the picture of his dad. So I'm sure there's another painting of Victor lying around somewhere they can put back up in that blank spot over the fireplace. All right, so now to the twist that I mentioned. Phillip is going to wake up. He is going to survive. And the twist from our leaker says that there's a couple of twists actually related to Phillip. He's going to get close to Gabby Hernandez, which is kind of fun. I guess JJ accusing her of trying to murder EJ put a little damper on their romance, but that isn't the big twist. So this was something that I actually predicted, but now my leaker confirmed is coming. Phillip will forgive Xander. And as I suspected, Phillip refuses to press charges. And get this, our leaker says that Xander gets close to Phillip again, although he remains on the outs with Sarah and Maggie, who is not going to talk to her son-in-law for a good long time. Phillip, in fact, gets close to his brother Xander again. They renew their brother bond, and he presses him to make things right and get back with Sarah. Now, there's lots more to talk about. I've got more info from our leaker, but I'm going to have to save it for another video because we have too much to talk about it, and I don't want this video to be super long. But be sure to check right here for exclusive Days of Our Leaks, because there's a website, a sketchy garbage one that likes to make up lies for clicks. I'm not going to say their name. I'm not going to give them the oxygen, but they actually listen to my leak videos and they pretty much copy it verbatim into an article and say it is their leaker. It is the shadiest, sketchiest stuff. So just be sure, if you want the real scoop from the person who actually has a leaker, check here. You can also check on our banner website, soapdirt.com. We put the same info over there, but it's not on any other website. So if you see Days of Our Lives leak on another website, they are lying, just by the way. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a loyal listener. We'll be back soon with more leaked info.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.